Yep, it's me. I'm here again. Welcome back to my series 90 Days to Freedom, where I take you behind the scenes of me quitting my job and following my dreams, my passions, my pursuits, whatever tickles my fancy, honey. Okay, we're in it. It's been 15 days. 15 days. So if you are new here, welcome. Come on in, sit down, have a seat. Did you subscribe? Go ahead. We did just hit 200 subscribers, which I'm very happy for. And we're going to continue to celebrate every single milestone on the way to getting monetized. Now, if you're new to the series, I quit my job. Okay. So I'm doing weekly updates on YouTube Shorts. Go check those out. But I'm also doing these weekly long recaps, sort of diving more into my mindset, what action steps I'm taking, and how I'm feeling about my progress throughout this journey. So I'll be documenting all of that. So this is your week 2 update. If you haven't watched week 1, go back and watch it, and then come back here. So let's get into week 2. If week 1 was all about setting the foundation, actually going forward and quitting my job and coming up with a plan, week 2 has been about that action. Okay, about that action. So while I'm not fully ready to share exactly what the business plans are, like I said before, some things you just kind of keep to yourself until you're ready to share them with the world. It does require me to pitch myself. We'll say that. So in this last week, I have pitched to 14 potential clients. Everybody clap. Everybody clap. Clap, 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 clap. Now, granted, I haven't heard a peep back. It's been crickets. But I'm okay with that because, again, I feel like part of doing something like this and part of going after something that you really want, you're not always going to get the return and the yes immediately, right? And I think it's so good for my system, for my brain to continue to shock myself and do things that I feel like are hard or difficult, because then it becomes easier, right? The first pitch that I sent out was very difficult. And I shared that in the shorts. I can't remember what day it was, but I actually cried after I sent it. Like, actually, and I don't know where it came from, right? I've said on this journey, I'm releasing a lot of emotion. A lot of things are still, I think, pent up inside, whether that's fear, whether that's, it probably is fear. Now that I'm really talking about, it's definitely fear, right? And so my body is responding to that. And I honestly don't have any control over it, right? I cried the other day at the gym. So it's all of these things. I'm shocking my system. I'm forcing myself to think about a reality that doesn't exist yet, right? But I see it clearly in my mind. And then daily, I'm visualizing. I'm taking these steps every single day, these little action steps to get there. And my body, it almost feels like it's like, whoa, girl, we need time to catch up. We don't have time. I'm sorry. I've wasted enough time. Catch up, everybody catch up. I'm going to continue to pitch. I'm going to continue to put myself out there because I know what I'm doing is valuable. I know that it will help people. And I know that once I get into the room, baby, you just got to put me in a room. And once I'm in there, it's over. It's over. I'm killing it. That's sort of the biggest action steps that I've taken. I've also made sure that I have the email tied to the business. I'm working on revamping the website. So all of those things are going to be happening in this upcoming week. I did have to fix the email because it got lost. Because mind you, I've had this idea for a while. This is not new. Like I said, this has been something that's been sitting on my spirit for a while. I'm just finally fully embracing it and going for it with the gusto. Okay. So I've had these things set up on the back burner. So things need to be revamped, they need to be refreshed, and I'm doing all of those things. And part of that is also the pitches. Some of my friends sent something to me today, and she was like, people can't support you if they can't see you. My God, on today. It's just like I'm getting word after word after word, amen, because exactly, which brings me into my next point. So that's the action steps, right? We've pitched, okay. Oh, second action step, almost forgot. I talked to the visa lady. So like I said in the first video, one of my biggest things is I still want to live in the UAE. The GCC in general, I've lived here a total of almost 8 years in Kuwait, Qatar, and now in the UAE. And it just always, for whatever reason, feels like home to me. And I want to continue to stay here. Now, what we are going to manifest, what we are speaking up, is being a bicontinental baddie. You feel me? So part of my time in the UAE and part of my time back at home handling business and seeing the fam bam. That's the dream, right? That's exactly what I want. So in order to get that, I had to talk to the lady. So very funny story. And this is how I know this has been ordained, right? It's been a long time coming. When I first got here in 2024, I went to a conference that fall, some business conference, something. And I met a woman who did like visa stuff. Like she helped people set up their business visas. I didn't really have a fully functioning business at the time. I did have this idea that I'm currently working on, but it wasn't up and running. But I took her number anyway. And I said, do I still have this number? Sure did. Sure did. And this is one of those examples of like, you never know what something you did in the past, like a past version of you may have done something that you didn't know was going to set current or future version of you up for success. Because now I know how to get this visa. I know exactly what I need to do. So I went through my call. Like I said, I still have it. I messaged her. I said, hey, here's my situation. What can we do? Set up a meeting. So we had a nice Zoom call today, 30 minutes. She went over all of the steps. And in my head, I had made it seem like getting this visa was going to be very difficult, right? Like it was going to be so many steps. And that's why I kind of also hesitated to do it a little bit because I'm like,
oh, it's going to be hard. I can't do it.
No. And of course, we're talking a little bit of passport privilege here. I'm not ignorant to the fact that that blue passport, it holds some weight in a lot of places. It's heavy. But it was a great conversation. I know what I have to do. I know exactly the timeline. I know the paperwork I need. I know the price that I need. I know what I need to do. And I feel very confident in the fact that I'm going to be able to secure a visa here in the UAE on my own. Because if you don't know, I am a teacher here and I'm transitioning out of that. And so my visa is tied to my school. So in order to me to stay here, I would need to get a visa on my own. And I feel very confident that I will be able to do that. So that's kind of going to be sitting to the side now that I have the information, getting my coins together. That's going to be a process that I start in July because that is when my contract ends and when my visa will be ending with my school. Now let's get into something a little bit more personal. After the action steps, there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of crying has been going on. A lot of emotions have been coming up. And one of the biggest things is like my mindset around money. I really have had to take a deep dive and think about my relationship with money, how I feel about money, and why I feel scared asking for money or asking people to pay for my services, even though I know they're valuable, even though I know I'm knowledgeable, even though I know I can make an impact, even though I know I'm so good at connecting with people in this way. And I'm still afraid to say that I should be paid for that work. And there's a lot of reasons why. I've gone through all of them. And a lot of it does stem from childhood. So I am the oldest of 6 children, single mother household, and my mom did everything by herself. Shout out to her because motherhood is not easy and single motherhood is definitely not easy, right? And so I will say as a child, we had everything we needed. And I'll just leave it at that, right? For sure. But money was not just flying through the walls, right? So in my head, there was never a time or a moment or people I saw with excess money or enough money to not just survive, to actually thrive and be comfortable, right? That wasn't my reality growing up. I didn't see that a lot around me. So I definitely internalized some of that and definitely made some not so good financial decisions in my 20s that I'm still paying for
to this day.
And so I've really had to have that conversation with myself and be honest. Okay, so what does it now look like if I'm really going to change my money mindset? What do I have to do? That starts with being okay to ask for more money, being okay with being safe or letting money be safe enough to exist here, and understanding that I can be paid for my talents, my ideas, my creativity, and it doesn't have to be tied to going in to a 9 to 5, which I'm not about to fight with 9 to 5 warriors. I'm not a 9 to 5 hater. I'm saying in my mind, previously, what I have connected making an income to is tied to being at someone else's job versus I know that I'm a talented, creative, driven, ambitious person. I have a skill set that I can share that can generate income without having to be tied to that. So I have to break that mindset also. So that's been a topic of conversation with myself, of course, and with the group chat, right? Because like I said, with that first pitch, when I sent it, I actually did cry. And I think part of it was a release of like, I am jumping into this new timeline, this new reality for myself. And that is a little bit scary, even if the emotions don't come out, in words, they're coming out in tears, right? And also the idea of like, I'm asking them to pay me. Like, and that's what I have to do. Like, in order to get where I'm going, to make this business successful, to have the impact that I want to have, I need the coins. And so I need to get comfortable and allow myself to be comfortable in a space where I'm allowed to hold money. I'm allowed to receive money. I'm allowed to ask for it. Like, even talking about this right now, like, my chest is getting tight, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, even having the conversation and forcing my brain and everything else around me to match what I know needs to happen in order for me to be successful, it's hard. And I feel like money is always such like, it's getting better, I will say, but the idea that like money is not itself evil, right? Or money itself is not bad. Money itself is neutral, right? If I hand you a $5 bill, the $5 bill is not going to do anything to you. It's what you do with that money, right? And so I know I'm a person who does want to make a shit ton of money. I'm just going to say it. I do. And not to like stun. I don't want to. There are things that I know need to happen. There are people that I know I want to support. There's impacts in places that I want to make, that because of the world that we live in, it's easier sometimes to do those things. We got a little coin in your pocket. That's just the way it is. So I would rather have a gang of people like me sharing their creativity, their insights, their expertise, and making some coin off of it, and then putting that back into the world, than people who sit and hoard money. If you ask me, but that's just me. That's just me. It might not be everybody. Anyways, let me calm down, because I'm gonna sweat this makeup off. And last but not least, one of the other things that I've really been marinating on and pushing myself forward in is the fear of being seen. And I kind of talked about this a little bit before, again, that threshold. And I have literally catapulted my entire business out for consumption for God knows who. And I don't care. I literally do not care. And I never thought that I would get to that point. And I'm not someone who really hides from things, right? I'm gonna be honest. If you see me out in person, I love being the center of attention. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, oh no, I do. All eyes are on me. Immediately, yes. Thank you. Exactly, as they should be. So I'm not really a shy person. I'm very social. I'm very confident. I'm a mix. I like to be with the people, but there's something about coming online, right? And having that same identity that I feel like is now lining up. So the me that you're getting in real life is now showing up in this authentic, real way online. And I love that for me. And I thought it would be a little bit harder than it was. And even posting the first video of me quitting because I debated even sharing this at all. I'm going to be honest. I was going to just shut up, do my 90 days, get my coin up, start this little business, and I was going to bow out. But I said, you know what? There's something very beautiful in documenting the journey, sharing it with others. And the feedback has been amazing. I've gotten so many comments and DMs from people and shares and I'm like, I don't even know that you paid attention to what I was doing, or that you were interested, or that you watched anything that I did. And I think that's one of the most powerful and wonderful things about social media, is because it does give us the opportunity and the power to connect with people in a way we might not have access to in the real world, right? I can connect with so many people around the world online through sharing my story, and they may see themselves in me, and it might inspire somebody to do something. And I think that is so amazing and incredible. And I think we should all harness that power, because everybody has something to share. Everybody has something to say. Everybody has a viewpoint that might, support or help or connect with other people. And I love that. And I think now this idea of like, I actually don't care. I don't care who sees it. Whoever is meant for, number one, it's going to be meant for. That's the first thing, right? And I think we know that in the back of our heads, but constantly reminding myself that I do have something to say, I do have something to share, and the people that it is meant to reach, it is absolutely going to reach. But again, like I told you, my friend sent me that quote, I cannot help people who cannot see me. I cannot love on people who can't see me. I can't support people, guide people, help people who cannot see me. So in order for me to align myself and my soul with what I feel like, again, is it's ordained to do, I have to put myself out there. I have to. And so that is the constant thing that's in my mind. There is another Black woman out there somewhere, another who wants to teach abroad and doesn't know where to start, doesn't believe that she can do it, doesn't see herself in any other people around her or people she's seen do it. But she might come across my content and see it and be like, oh, wait a minute, Shanice is doing it. Absolutely. Sign me up. I can do it too. And that right there, that's the type of impact that I'm trying to make. And that has happened because I originally shared this journey on TikTok of me teaching abroad, all of that. And that's what sparked, okay, here I have something to say. I have something that can help people. I have something that can be a guide and support. And I want to continue to do that in more ways than when I say the list of the ideas in my brain. I got to do a brain dump like every couple hours because shit just be pew, 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 pew. That's it. That is the recap. Sorry, I feel like I just yapped. I yapped and yapped and yapped and yapped. But that's what this is, right? We're yapping together. We're taking this 90-day journey together. Y'all are here. We locked in, okay? 90 days and then 90 days after that and then 90 days after that. So thank you so much for watching week 2. Please make sure you are subscribed, like, share, comment, heart it, do whatever you got to do. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will see you next week for week 3. A reminder, I'm still doing the daily caps every single day. Daily recaps every single day so you can stay updated with what's happening in real time. So go binge watch those if you haven't. Week 1 has already been posted. This is week 2, and I will see you next week for week 3. Bye.